Hey everybody, glad you stopped by today. Hey, the last video that we did, we got a whole lot of interest in the actual scale models and stuff that we build here. And I looked back in time and I looked at some of the footage that I had shot. And I said, you know what? Let's see if they would be interested in looking at some of this old stuff of us doing some special models and stuff. So what I did, I put a 3-part series together. And just to see if you guys would be interested in it enough. And if you are, you guys like it, share it, comment on it, and let me know what you think. Maybe we can do some more of it. But in the meantime, just take a look at it. It's something we're getting ready to go out and get a photo shoot done right now, and I'll be back. But take a look at it, let me know what you think, and then get back with me. All right, guys, enjoy the episode. It's 3 of them now, so this is just the first, and I think you'll like the other ones once they come online. So we'll see you in a little bit. Hope you like it. Take care, guys. Hey guys, I'm sitting here in the shop, and I came to the realization that most of you guys know that I'm not going to be building any of the models anymore. Well, not to the point where it's commercial. And I wanted to do something a little different and show you guys how I actually went through the procedures of building the double eagle sleepers. And since I got a project that I got to present to a sleeper manufacturer, I wanted to kind of document how I actually built that presentation. I'm going to build the entire sleeper, and then we're going to cut some windows in it. We're going to cut the entranceway, and we're going to build the interior. So I've got what I'm going to do today. We're going to actually build. I got some pre-cut pieces that I cut from a 6-foot sheet of plastic over there. And I've got the pieces already marked and got the framing put on. And we're gonna do some assembling and let you see. Oh, we're gonna be building the interior layout, which is kind of like this. We do an interior layout for the sleeper so you can actually see how everything goes in, because I want this interior to be in here because I want them to see what it is we're going to be wanting in the sleeper. So we're going to build the interior layout, the interior, and the actual box itself. So hang in there, we're about to start. First off, I want to make sure that I got a good biting surface. So I'm going to square up everything, sand it all good and solid, so that our glue will actually bite into both sides. And I use the Testors glue when I'm using a lot of the big 16 scale stuff. I use a lot of my liquid cements when I use the smaller scale stuff. But for the big scale stuff, I actually need it like a well. So I needed to really melt these pieces together. So we got the back wall, front wall, and we got the sides. So what we're going to start doing is actually putting everything together. So you want to have a square, which is here, to make sure that all your walls are square. And you're going to start with your back wall. So I just finished sanding the edges smooth. I'm going to apply some cement on here or glue on these edges, and we're going to start putting this bad boy together. Make sure you got everything square, everything is flat, and you let that start drying. We'll do the other side, and I'll show you what they look like when they come together with the front wall, okay? We got the front wall. We're gonna put the opposite side of this. Instead of the passenger side, we're gonna put the driver's side together. square. Move right back to put everything back together. Hey guys, okay, so we gave the pieces a little time to harden up and get pretty firm and stiff and ready to go together. So let's go ahead and put the walls together. And the reason that I've used a lot of the framework, because we got to put radiuses on the corners of the sleepers. So the best way to get the radiuses in without cutting through the sides and then having to plug the sides is to add some thickness to the walls. And the actual real sleepers are framed off the same way. So actually we're doing everything exactly the way the manufacturer would do with the sleepers. Okay. Do the square. Sitting flat, no bouncing, no bounce, no bows. It's all square. Yep. Yep. She's all square. And that's how you get your basic shape of the sleeper together. And when we come back, we're gonna finish framing it and get ready to put the roof on. And well, actually, we'll put the base in first, and then we'll put the roof on. And then she'll sit. We'll come back, do all the sanding, and get everything ready for the actual cutting the windows and doors and stuff in it. So that's how it is, man. It's not a lot to it, but it is. So, and we've got a lot of dimensions and stuff that we keep true. So, and we've got a lot of tools that we use. So, it is a little bit of a trick to it, but you know, that's what makes it so cool, is that we're doing exactly the way the manufacturer would do it and keep everything squared and with the layout the way we got it, it's going to be really, really cool to see it come together. So when you come back, we'll be putting the roof and the base, the floor in. All right, guys, see you later. Okay, guys, we're back. I'm cutting some floor stops. So that means we actually got the body, you know, it's dried up now, it's good and solid. And what we're gonna do now is actually put the floor in to help give it stability, and then we'll add the roof to it. But what we do first, we gotta make some floor stops. So when you slide that floor in there, it stops on the indicator lines that you've already put inside, because you want your floor thickness to not, you know, push it all the way through the bottom. So I've got mine set for like 1.847, about 3 inches off the this edge, and I marked it on the inside. If you can see that line on the inside, but that's my stop area, and then my floor actually sit on that level, so all my stops will be below those lines. So that's what I'm about to do now, and you guys can actually watch me put the stops in. I just make a little stopper here, and I need about 20 of these little stops, and we'll just go in and just put them in one by one on the level lines that we're gonna have the sleeper floor stop on, and that's pretty much it. Now, this application is what I will actually use the liquid cement for. This is because this is a smaller or thinner plastic, and I don't want it to melt. So, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm gonna take my X-Acto, my sharp X-Acto, and I'm gonna use that as a pointer. So what I do, I make a dab, take a piece, put it in place. And there you have it. We're just gonna continue to do those. So these are your indicator lines. These are the lines that your floor is actually gonna stop on and actually rest on these points so they don't go below, you know, what you need to go on the frame. So, because it's really, really easy to go too far on the frame, and then you got to start trying to compensate and cut the, you know, sleeper floor or take away from the actual frame to try to get the sleeper to sit right. But if you actually do that in the beginning, you will have the actual same amount of floor space and distance that the actual sleeper will sit on, and you don't have to worry about that. And I know a lot of you guys saying, okay, well, how do we know what depth we actually want to make our sleeper floor sit? Well, you can actually start if you look at some of the kits that are out there that you guys actually probably have already built. Just look at one of them and then just measure the floor, you know, that's already in the kit. And then when you measure that, you'll be able to actually see how much floor you need for yours. And just pretty much mimic what they have. I was one of the model builders with Monogram, and I worked on a lot of the stuff, so I know for a fact that with the 16th scale trucks, we put in the actual sleeper depth from the flooring, you know, that we needed from the manufacturer back in the day when those kits were made. I didn't make the original kit, but I did do a lot of the revising on the actual newer kit molds. So I'm gonna finish these up, and then I'm gonna show you how we're gonna put this floor in here. Okay, back. Okay, guys, we're back. We're getting ready to drop the floor in here, and this is how I like to do mine. Now, a lot of guys don't do theirs. You know, everybody, model builders have their own techniques. I've got my rear and my front already marked off, and this will actually be facing the outside of the sleeper bottom. So there's nothing on the inside, because we're going to be painting this and putting carpet and stuff on the inside of the truck, or wood grain flooring. So this is my indicator. No, this is the front of the trailer, the sleeper, and this is the bottom of the sleeper. So what I do now, I go back to my epoxy, my paste glue, and my caliper up here in the way, and I start applying the actual area that the sleeper floor is actually going to be on. Now, you don't have to be, exactly, neat with this part, because the sleeper is going to slide in here, and it's going to pull all the glue it needs to its resting area. And then these walls are going to be covered anyway, because we're going to put an interior in here. And if it wasn't going to have the interior in it, you would have, you wouldn't have to worry about it anyway, because if you weren't showing the interior, it would be just covered anyway. So now set it up, and this is all square, keeping it square. And this is, we know that this is already square because we already did our squaring with our square to know that we got it absolutely square and it's ready to go into place. So once again, take your front and your rear. Now you're gonna slide it in, and it'll basically lock itself in place like so, and then you just push down. And it automatically stops in the right place. Just keep, you flip your corners until you get everything touching. Keep flipping. Make sure all your stops are touching. All your glue is in place. back up. Check your square. Make sure there's no rocking. Everything's solid. Yep. And there you have it. You actually have your sleeper bottom end. It's level, it's spaced off, it's square. And now we're actually gonna sit and I'm gonna show you guys how we actually put the top in. And after that, we'll be cutting a vista window in the front entranceway, and any doors or windows we'll put on the side. And we're rolling. All right, guys. See you in a bit. Guys, we're back. One part that I did leave out when we were the last episode was we actually needed to put the framing for the roof fan, which comes across the very front of the Vista, because this is an Aerodyne front sleeper. So this is the support framing for the Vista window and everything that goes inside. So once we get what we're getting ready to do now, I'm gonna just do a little scuffing along the roof line and on the surface of where we're gonna be gluing, so it'll have a bite. You don't want it to be really smooth, because your glues won't get in and really bite and hold on the way that you want them to. So we're gonna go over it a little bit with the rough sand and get this ready to go on. And you want to make sure you don't knock it out of square. So hang on to it, hold on to it, make sure you get everything scuffed, all your angles. Then you come in and you want to make sure you get all the surface, get that shine out of that styrene. But that's what we use polystyrene to make our sleepers out of. So it's a 6-foot sheet that we actually use, and you want all that shine off of there. Otherwise, you know, where they actually, now it's okay if you want to be on a paint surface, you leave it on the paint surface, but any of the side that you're actually going to be putting it in place, you want to make sure you got it down. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to sand an angle on the front of the sleeper, because where it comes together, you don't want it to have a gap there, you want it to actually seal. So you put a small 45-degree angle on the front edge, and this would be the front of the sleeper. So it'll actually sit like so. It'll slide up into the Vista window and keep everything square. So what we do first, we're gonna put the Vista window in. This is the very Aerodyne front of the sleeper. So let's go ahead and get that set up and get the paste in here. Like I said, I continue to use my strong paste because this is a weld. It welds everything solid, and when it dries, it is absolutely beautiful to work with in sand. And you got so much more support with this particular, because it welds and melts it all together. So now you take your Vista window, put her in place by setting the front first, then rolling back. Once again, looking, you want to make sure you got your square. Make sure everything is together and square. Now, if you run into a situation where you're out of square, it's real simple to fix. You just take your sleeper unit and you tape it. Take a piece of tape and go around each cornered edge where you know you got it out of square, and then it'll hold. And then once the glue dries, she's solid. She'll be absolutely solid. So now, here comes the closing part. This you got to be kind of careful with, because you're going to be butting into the Vista window. So you want to make sure you get glue in this angle of the Vista window, because this is what's going to be the strength in the very front of the sleeper. So once you get this, because you're going to be cutting a window, and you know, this is going to be, it can have a lot of stress on the model, really. I know it's not an actual working piece, but it can actually be a lot of stress over time, when you start putting the glues, the paint and stuff on the primers, and you start sanding, you can push through. So it goes through a rough section itself. So you want to make sure you got that good. Make sure you got your angle piece. Check it. Make sure you got all your angles cut. If you need to touch it a little bit, that's fine. Because you want that to really kiss off and have a sharp edge when it touches on the other side. Because your vista is on a 45-degree angle too. So now you start in the front, placing it right up against the vista, pushing down. You're gonna get a little ooze, which is fine. Pressing. Pressing. And now, this is where I like to make sure everything, this is just what I like to do. I take my tape. I'm gonna tape sections because I want mine to stay true. You want to pull it tight. Get it good and tight. Like I said, always make sure you square. You got to keep it square. And see, I was telling you about this front. When you start putting that pressure on there, that's what I was talking about. You want to keep that. So we're going to put a piece of tape on here too, going towards the front to make sure that it stays in position as well. Yep. Now, she's good and tight there. Take a piece, go across your front corner, pulling, tape. Very front, which you want to make sure you pull that all the way down and coming across. And there you have it. You have now built yourself the foundation for your double eagle sleeper. Now, we'll let that set up, but what we're getting ready to do now, we're actually going to build the interior floor plan that we use to put all the sleeper stuff together that it's gonna fit in here. Now what that means is, now that we're gonna set this to the side, this is all gonna dry and get really sturdy and turn really solid and square. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna go and actually build a T for the interior, which means you'll have a right side and a left side. And just like we did with everything else, we put in the little stakes and everything for the floor. We're gonna do the exact same thing. It's just it's gonna be cut in half. So when you get back, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay guys, we're back. I got a few steps on you, but what I basically did was the same thing with the sleeper unit. This is the actual framing that we did with the just like we did with the building the sleeper. We put the frames on the same wall thickness that you know that you'll have it consistent. So when you build your interior, you know it'll fit in underneath your framework all the way across the strut. We're gonna add the last framework over here, and we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna add framework here, and this will come all the way out, you know, to this side, and then we'll put one on this side, and then we should be. Oh, I had a question that a lot of guys was asking me. But what are those strips that you're using? Well, I use Evergreen. Evergreen has all the pieces, and they come in 24-inch strips. So I've got quite an assortment of different strips that I use with different thicknesses, and that gives me my framing network. And depending on what kind of frame I'm going to be working with trailers or sleepers or trucks, it gives me the thickness that I need to make my applications work. And then once we get this in, we're gonna actually put the floor in, and when we come back, we'll be actually building cabinets and refrigerators and all kind of stuff to go on the inside. So let's get this started. Take my caliper, we're gonna measure out the exact distance that we need from the side. Okay. I know you guys have seen me use my trusty cutter. This is one of the older ones, but it's always been my faithful go-to. And I'm gonna cut out the exact dimension that I need for this. See if I can make 2 out of this one. It's gonna be close. Nope, not long enough. So I gotta use one more piece of this. Okay, let's get this in place. And once again, like I said, always sand so that your surface will have something to bite to when you put your glues in. Otherwise, it's just sitting on the top. It doesn't, and I mean, it will penetrate, but it just won't do it as quickly. And for me, I like to get that, know that it's actually there and penetrating well. So, get this in. Both sides. Make sure it's square. You do the other side. Now, I did have someone ask me, okay, well, are you going to frame the outer edge as well? I can, just to make sure that, we got the clearance once we get the framework actually put in, but it's not necessary because you will notch the distance in the framework of the box or the cabinets anyway, so they will notch, cut a whatever 20-40 thousandths notch in the corner, and they'll fit right into the existing the distance of your framework. So now what we're going to do, we're actually going to put our floors in and make sure we got them all squared up, and that'll be pretty much the gist of making our this is what I like I said, I like to call this my interior framework. And this is, like I said, this will be the actual frame, and it's the same dimensions of the inside of the sleeper already that we got, that will be used for the making the interior fit. So we're going to go through, put your glue in. Plenty of glue. Start from the corner, sliding in, and snap. Get your square. As you can see, I already put the stops in, so we know where the floor lines are actually going to stop. Now, another question they were asking me, does it have to be that accurate when it comes to putting the floor plan together? Not really, because you want it to be square, but it doesn't have to be, precise. Only the upper framing should be dead on, because this has to match your sleeper box. And if your sleeper box doesn't match up, and the cabinets won't fit into of course, the sleeper itself. So you got to make sure that the upper part of it is actually, the same dimension that you used when you built the box itself. So that when you put these cabinets in here, because I'm going to show you guys what we do. Once you build these cabinets and stuff and everything is sitting in here, all you have to do is take them loose, because we're going to cut an opening in the top of the sleeper, so you can put everything down in the sleeper, and you can actually see, how the cabinets, the refrigerator, the microwave, all that good stuff, once you take the roof off and look down into it. And you see a lot of guys do some of the models, and they make a lot of the stuff out of scale. Well, I'm a big stickler on, if you're gonna put a magazine in there, scale it down to, what the scale that you're working in, what it would actually look like if you're gonna put it on the table or on the bed or something like that. And I'll show you how we're gonna do that, because I'll actually be doing a copy of our Elegance on 18 Wheels magazine that we're gonna put in this sleeper. And because like I said, I'm presenting this to a manufacturer. So yeah, I'm gonna put this other side in and get the T, because it should be doing its job. Yep. And we're squirt this ready. Glue it up. And put her in place. Just like before. Line it up. Slide it down. And make sure you got your square. There you have it. She's actually sitting, and this is actually what the sleeper actually is going to be. We're going to build the framework of all the cabinets, the bed, and everything will actually sit on here. And then once I get it to whatever I'm going to put in here, I take those cabinets out. It'll drop right into my existing sleeper to scale and fit right in there. So that's it, guys, for this episode. When we come back, we'll be doing the interior, and I'll show you how I do layout lines and everything when I cut the sleeper. So for the doors and the actual windows and stuff. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later. Hey, everybody. So, what'd you think? I told you it was going to be kind of cool. It was some old footage that we used building that sleeper, and I thought it would be really cool to share it with you all and see what you thought of it. There's 3 parts to it, and I think the next episode you'll probably like it a little bit better because it goes into a little bit more detail, and the final you'll actually see how everything comes together. But if you guys liked it, let me know if you liked it. Subscribe, like, comment. I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback on everything. So for now, that's it. Check out the next episode, and I'll talk to you guys later. See you later. Thanks for watching.